Well, this is a heck of a cast and a heck of a movie. It is a fun ride. I mean, this thing takes off like a rocket, and the premise is amazing. You can take a pill, have a superpower, but you don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't. I mean, it could be the last pill you ever take. What was it that attracted you guys to this movie?
Well, I'm gonna jump in and say the people that you see on the screen is the most attractive. I don't care what, we could be playing tiddlywinks. I'm gonna be with these guys. I'll talk about Dominique Fishback first, who's just, listen, she will be on someone's stage saying, "I'd like to thank the members, I'd like to thank the Academy." She will be doing that at one point. This young force comes in and just takes the part of Robin, who's this girl that I meet, and we go on this incredible journey. Without getting too far down, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, when I saw him, I know he felt my eyes. I was literally like, there he is right there. And then at one point I told the directors, because he was doing a test, I said, "Look at that face, that's it." And then I started directing, "Get closer, get closer." Listen, to me, Joseph is just a person who I've always loved his work. And when I got a chance to work with these guys, I said, I'm in 1,000%. And then the fact that it's a dope movie, a drug that you can take that'll give you superpowers. Who doesn't want to peek into that?
Joseph?
I just want to echo everything he said. I remember the first day we met. I remember the moment you're talking about, man. And I was feeling like, can I really pull this off? I'm playing a detective from New Orleans. I'm wearing cowboy boots. This is different than me. That's what I like about being an actor, is playing someone different from myself. But can I really pull this off? And he was just so positive and encouraging. And he was back there behind the monitor just cheering. And I was like, if Jamie Foxx feels this positive about it, then all right, I'm feeling confident. I've loved his work ever since, ever since In Living Color, all through Ray, Django. I mean, he's really an icon and someone I've always looked up to. And so, yeah, when I read this script and I saw it was him, and then I got to meet Dominique, and I just want to echo everything Jamie just said. If you like movies, acting, actors, and see Project Power for no other reason than to learn about Dominique Fishback, that's really true.
So Dominique, this must be something. I mean, you're listening to these guys, these acting icons, singing your praises. How do you feel right now?
I feel like I've been more tranquil than usual because I'm kind of trying to hear it. Like I hear it, but I'm like, is this real life? Because I've been working for it for a pretty long time, and I'm from East New York. I'm from Brooklyn, and there's not a lot of people that I know that I see it from where I'm from, like make their dreams come true to this extent that I've been blessed to do. So to get to work with Jamie and Joe, and then not only that, like when I saw that they were both attached, I'm like, can it get any better? And then it did on set with them. Like Jamie taught me that, we do have true superpowers inside of us, and his is to make everybody laugh and to, so like he comes to set and he brings that. And so even if on particularly hard days, he would never let the set die down. He'd always be playing music and making you laugh. And I thought, okay, what do I have inside of me that I could do that? Both these guys have longevity in their career, and that's what I want. So what can I take from working with them?
And by the way, Dominique, I'll just let you know, my dad used to drive a bus out of the East New York Depot, and I used to go there and ride the bus with him all the time. So we got that little connection going.
Yes, you do.
So Jamie, explain this movie. And I mean, it's a fascinating concept, and it's one of those, besides being just a fun ride, it actually makes you think.
Well, you know what? It does, because it talks about things that we hear. We hear about, drugs, but to have this sort of element on top of a human element, this drug on the street that I'm chasing as a cop, trying to find out who's pushing this drug, there's a different connection for me as well. My daughter, and I don't want to give away too much, but my daughter has something to do with being a person who was tested and has this sort of antibody with the superhuman street or the superhero DNA. So you see me, it reminds me of this, the old Incredible Hulk series where he's just on his journey, trying to find something. So as he follows this journey into New Orleans, runs into Dominique, who's playing Robin, and she's pushing power. She's pushing power on the streets, and so they become sort of like this weird.
They have a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, duo to where he's at a crossroads, she's at a crossroads. She's telling him that you need her, and I'm saying I don't. But we do need each other, and she teaches me, about looking beyond, just what's in front of you. And then I teach her, that the power that you possess has been right in here, and it's been there the whole time. So it has that. I mean, and I think that's what makes it different. It's just not like a superhero film. It's a human film, humanity, and then the superhero element is on top of it. And then when you see Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think, when I'm watching the trailer, just the trailer alone, and even my daughter's like, Dad, he's the coolest. You didn't see? Okay, anyway. But if you notice, if you watch the trailer, and people go pull up the trailer so you'll be ready, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, there's a bullet that is shot towards his head and something miraculous happens. And then we started to go like, ooh, something else is in the water. So, sort of these little trap doors that you open and you find out all these great things, and it makes for a great movie, great film.
And that's what I love about the film too, is you can really appreciate both of those levels. There's incredible visuals and spectacle and the thrill ride of it, but underneath it really is asking some pertinent questions that, it's not going to hit you over the head with any messages, but it asks, who has the power in this world and why, and is that fair? And these are questions that I think it's good we're all asking ourselves nowadays. So I like those movies that it can be fun, but it can also spark a conversation if you want it to.
When I was watching it, it really, to me, in this moment right now, where we are as a country, even though, as you said, this is a superhero movie, but it mirrors a lot of what's happening in our country right now.
Yeah, and if you think about it, in 2018, this is when we did the movie. We didn't know that we would be faced with the challenges that we have now. I've been on the front lines at the protests in Minneapolis, Houston, San Francisco, and so to have the words that are being said in our movie, it's like I say, great artists pay attention to what is going on around them. And so it's not, like I said, it's not a movie that was set out to be about what is going on, but it has a little bit of that. But I will tell you, I'm encouraged about this movement. I'm encouraged about going to Minnesota the first day of the protests and getting there and seeing white kids, young, marching, threw me off. I asked them what was up, why are you here? And then I found out that their first record was a hip hop record. I found out that President Obama wasn't a big deal to them because they thought we should have black, we should have women, we should. So that encouraged me on that front. And then I think with this movie, it comes along at a good time where I think we do need a little bit of escapism. We do need something that we could just watch and just sort of decompress, because like I said, we were talking earlier before we started shooting, pandemic, being in one place, I'm blessed, but I know that everybody is still dealing with this in their own way. So this would be a good opportunity for them to sort of escape for a couple hours.
Jamie, will you tell the story that you told me the other day about when you were taking the knee with those police officers? Because, I play a police officer in this movie. And like you said, in 2018, we didn't know that there would be these discussions on the forefront of everybody's minds about police brutality and police accountability. And I just found that really moving, what you said happened when you were with all those cops.
Well, what it speaks to a bigger thing. It speaks to what we see in our media. Like, we went to these protests wholeheartedly wanting change, but at the same time, I have these relationships with these great police officers, and we knelt, all 50 of us, and we knelt and we hugged each other, and we made a commitment to each other that we were going to change internally. A camera wasn't put on that, wasn't put on all these different things that were really positive, like, the peaceful parts. In San Francisco, it was 30,000 of us, and it was peaceful. And, sometimes, the sort of the more salacious things were being reported. So that being said, it was, to me, it was like all hands on deck. I said, we got to change this and we got to do it together. And what was great about those police officers was the admittance that there was something wrong, the admittance that we need to change. So we will continue to do great work. And I might as well drop it like this. There's a thing called the Remember Me campaign that we will be doing. And the Remember Me campaign is this: police officers with young Black kids hanging out, having a good time. Kids age 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So the Remember Me is once that kid becomes 17, 18 in his community and that cop grows and that kid grows, maybe that kid gets into a little trouble, but that cop now sees that kid and says, I remember you from the summer, da-da-da-da-da. And so now we start to build within. So I had to throw that on.
I like that. I hadn't heard about that idea.
That sounds true. I mean, well, but it comes down to a human connection. And in this movie, you're talking about a superhuman connection that can go awry very easily.
Yes, and that's the thing. And Dominique knew what was going on. She tells Dominique, give him the fact that you actually know what the drug is, the capabilities.
Huh?
I was saying, like, your character actually knew what the drug, the other side of what the drug does is what Robert was explaining.
Yeah, in the movie, she says to him, he's like, so what's your power? And Robin is like, oh, I don't know. Like, she's doing this. She kind of steps away from it. I think it's that aspect of somebody who it represents a person who might have got caught up into doing something that might not be ideal, but she's doing it for reasons beyond what she feels like is her control. Like, her mom is everything to her. And so this way we get to shine a light on people who are often statistics and we don't get a face to them. So now with Robin, we get a face to her, we get a heart to her, we get to know what she cares about, what she loves, how she cares about people. And I think that's really important. And I'm glad that the movie has that aspect.
And the movie, Dominique, you are an aspiring rapper.
Yes.
You throw down some stuff. Was this the first time you rapped, or?
No, I was a very expressive kid, and when I was 16, I wrote a rap for a guy that I had a crush on. Didn't go anywhere, but it happened. No, but I'm also a spoken word poet, and so I've been doing that all since I grew up. And so getting on set with Chica, who's a rap artist who wrote all of the raps that Robin do in the movie, was just icing on the cake. So when she's beatboxing the class, I'm just trying to keep the rhythm, trying to keep the rhythm as all of the things are moving. So it was definitely a lot of fun. And now Joe and I were doing this project together. He has his hit record, and he gets everyone like around the world to contribute their musical styles, whether it's instrumental or rap, writers, just lyricists, singers, to come together and create one song. And so we have that for Power, where everyone can come create a song together that can celebrate the release of the movie,
which comes out tomorrow. What do you want people to come away from after they've watched this movie, guys?
I mean, I hope people come away feeling powerful. To me, that's the sign of a great movie. When I'm walking out of the theater, and granted, people won't be watching this one in theaters, but walking away from the viewing experience feeling enlivened and feeling like I can do anything, my time. And I feel like this movie can be that shot in the arm for people.
Yeah, I think that while we'll get super excited about the different powers and we speculate what it would be like to have a pill that can give you power, the good thing is that we do get another side where we get to see that the power is within. And so we could leave feeling like, oh, we need power. We need a pill that gives you power, but maybe we could search inside ourselves to find out what we actually have to give right now.
Well, I'm working on a patent.
Well, before I let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't ask, if you could pick one superpower, what would it be?
Oh.
I think I did a little bit of a cheat where I decided that since spoken word and words are my thing, that I would be able to make incantations and cast spells so that I could have whatever I need for whatever moment I need it, right? Yeah.
I would go with the power of empathy. Like the ability to see through someone else's eyes and hear through someone else's ears and taste and touch and smell and actually put myself in someone else's shoes, which is what I'm always trying to do when I'm an actor. I'm playing a character that's different from myself. But if I could take it to that next level of it being a superpower and really experience someone else's perspective, I think I'd like that.
An empath.
And I'd be love man.
Love
man, just spreading love all over. And I have a heart on my chest and just.
You already are, dude. That's what you are.
You are that. Crying and just make you forget everything. And next thing you know, we dance and we at the after party. The food is right, and like whatever your favorite food is, I'll be able to put it in your hand, and it's always that last bite. Mine is like a Sonic burger. Like, you know how you get to that one at the corner? I just bite it, and I turn my head and look back, and I'm replenished. That's what I am, the love replenishing man. Okay.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
Yeah,
but
it's. I gotta work on that.
Love man, stick with love man. You don't need the repentance.
Love man. Guys, thank you so much. Looking forward to the movie.